it up into the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you.
You hear me now? What the is wrong with that microphone? You probably hear me now, right?
What?
Yeah, you hear me now. Okay, so let me start over. If you were. Sorry about that. The microphone goes on mute for some reason whenever the computer restarts, and I kind of forgot about it, and yeah, now it's on. So I've been talking here for 3-4 minutes by myself, and nobody could hear me. Okay, um, sorry about that. If anyone was in the chat or was in the live stream earlier, and if anyone saw the trailer video at the beginning, just let me know because it was a members only video, and I'm just wondering if it actually works for everyone or if it's just for the members or if it doesn't work at all. The video was about my brother who passed away in 2011, and it was on May 7th. And you see one of the guy in the video as well, a very good friend of mine, the one that did the video, my buddy Jason, who passed away this year in April. So the video really shows what my brother was all about. You know, friends, party, um, an uncle, a brother, a friend. Um, he was the kind of guy that was always there for you if you needed him. Um, he would have gone to prison for me. Like, I have no doubt about that. So that's the first thing I was talking about. Awesome. Thank you. And thank you for letting me know that you can't hear me. I was just saying that a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I posted a comment on Facebook about an NHL hockey rule that, in my opinion, you're a professional playing in the most prestigious hockey league in the world. You should know about a rule. It's the kind of rule that, in my mind, everybody knows about. They changed a rule. They said you will get this if this happened, but only if you do this. If you know that you're getting the point for a loss in overtime, you should know that you're only getting that point if you don't remove your goalie and get scored on while your goalie is out of the net. And I was called stupid because I said that everybody should know about that rule, especially if you play in the NHL. Well, something like that happened again today. I was scrolling on Facebook. I was reading the news, and there was a guy that was arrested for doing a holdup at our local takeout. And I mean, I did not comment about the fact that he got 2 years in prison. To me, you do the crime, you do the time. And that was not even the issue here. The lady went on and on about how someone that does drugs should be held accountable for what they do. And anyone that takes drugs, according to her, is doing it because they decided to. And all I said was, I agree with you about the time in prison. Like, I'm not going to go down that path, but I understand your point of view, and I agree. You do the crime, you do the time. And to me, if you do a holdup, especially with a weapon, you should have more than 2 years in jail. But my point was, it's not because you're on drugs with addiction problem that you decided to go down that path. Not everyone decides to take the first dose of whatever drug it is they're doing. And then she started laughing at me and calling me, making fun of me, really, because I said that it's not everybody's choice if they're drug addicts. Some people don't choose to be drug addicts. And this is a subject that I know there's probably people that are going to watch this and be like, hey, like, be careful what you're talking about. I'm not defending them. I'm not saying that they have the right to do. It's not what I'm talking about. But before we talk, before we judge, we should put ourselves in their shoes. If you have a car accident and you end up in a coma for a month, or even if you just end up in ICU because of a car accident, they put you on morphine, they put you on codeine, they put you on Dilaudid. Those are all narcotics. They put you on any of those drugs because you can't stand the pain. It's either you pass out because of the pain, or you can't even get through the day, or you take those medication prescribed by a doctor, a specialist, someone that knows what they're doing. After 3 days, you can be hooked up on those narcotics. Now, it's not the same for everyone. I mean, I once received Dilaudid for kidney stones. The pain was unbearable. I had to take those narcotics. It was a prescription, and I had to take them because there was no way I could go through my day without those medication. But I knew the risk. Of course, I knew the risk, but you don't think that it can happen to you. And it did not happen to me because I knew the risk. I knew what it was. I knew that it was possible for me to get addicted to those pills. So I would go as long as I could supporting the pain because I wanted to make sure that I didn't get addicted to those pills. But I can see someone that might have lower tolerance either on pain or on any kind of addictions, taking those meds for a few days and then being hooked to them. And it's not because it's their choice. It's because they have no choice. It's either that or they suffer really, really, really bad. Some people weren't raised right, so it may not be all their fault. Some can't handle life situations. Some are in severe pain, and it's the only relief. Some have reasons that are a bit more understandable. Yeah, I get it. If someone decides to take drugs because they want to be cool, they want to fit in, they want to whatever, they're still making that choice. And I get that part. I mean, I know some people that are dead because of drugs. I know some people that would literally hurt their parents, their family, because of their addictions. But when you go on to say that it's their fault, you don't know where that person comes from. I know a guy, okay, I'm not going to name anyone, but this guy was on the news because he was assaulted by a police officer. He was assaulted by a police officer because the guy was causing trouble at a Tim Hortons or something like that. But I coached a kid as a soccer player. He was playing soccer when he was like 11 years old. He was a great kid. His dad had drugs issues, and he decided he was taking it on to his kid. 12-year-old guy started taking drugs because his dad was telling him to. His dad was telling him that he had to take drugs. You're 12 years old, your dad tells you to do something. 50% of the people would, even more than that, people would say, sure, like, whatever you say, Dad. And that kid today is struggling, is addicted, and he's screwed up for life. He's never going to have a normal life now because the addiction is too bad. He's too deep. But nothing's given you the right to judge him. You can't judge someone like you don't know. You don't know where that guy comes from. You don't know the guy, your neighbor that's doing drugs is doing drugs because, he went to war and he has PTSD. You don't know that the person living in front of you might be doing drugs because he's been in a car accident, and the only way that he could actually open his eyes and not scream in pain was because he was taking some medication. Now, I think that some professionals should be working a little bit more hands in hands in terms of, you get narcotics, the doctors, the social workers should be on your case to help you make the right call. I have some family member that suffer from I don't even know. They have back pain. They have one of their discs that it's broken. It's hurting them. They need to take Demerol, which is another narcotic. The more they take, the more they need to take, because the more they take, the more the pain keeps going through. They didn't decide to have that pain. It wasn't their choice. Hey, Lewis, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for being here as well. Side note, Shenka Piedra blast kidney stones naturally. Make sure to have it on hand just in case if you have any stones in the future. That's a plant, right? And I think I can order that on Amazon, if I remember correctly. Okay. Let's just see the comment here. It's an herb, yeah, so it's a plant, and I can probably find it on Amazon. I think I was able to find it on Amazon, actually. I just need to order it, really. I need to go ahead and do it. I have double strength bottle capsules. So you've been struggling with kidney stones as well? About a year ago, I had a live stream on Friday like this, and I had to stop about 10 minutes in because the pain was just too much. It's known as a stone blaster. Nice. Yeah, I really need to order it because I've heard about it before. I went on a foraging class last year, and the guy there was telling me about it. I was actually asking the question about if there was any herbs that would actually help with the kidney stones. And he was there and said, hey, yeah, I know that one, but it doesn't really grow here. You could probably grow it inside, but I think it's from Colombia, or it grows in the warm temperatures. Anything going on this weekend for anyone? I've been looking at my mushroom growing kit. I can't wait to show that video because, well, the mushrooms are growing really, really fast. They're golden oysters. They come from Le Petit Champi, which is a company from Quebec. Okay, let me find the link for that, and I can show you exactly. Huh. Oh, yeah, right. It was a picture. I just find it really cool, so I'm gonna share it with you. Well, that's a good reason to keep it, just in case. Never had them. I drink pure apple juice every day. Keeps any stones soft so I can pass them easily on a daily basis. Everyone is loaded with stones, but if they stay soft, you don't know you have any. See, my problem is I'm addicted to chocolate. I have a sugar tooth. What do you expect? I eat too much chips and chocolate, and coffee is not good for kidney stones. Salt is not good for kidney stones. Sugar is not good for kidney stones. Those are all the best thing to eat. Those are my favorite. But I'm getting better at this. I'm doing better with the kidney stones as well. I just need to get even better than what I am now. Yeah, just check out this link if you're interested in growing your own mushrooms. Um, they're under $30, and you can get at least 2 harvest if you keep them in a box inside. Might be able to get more. I don't know, but I've been trying. I have one experiment going on, and another one. The box is growing mushrooms inside. Those are golden oysters and pearl oysters. The golden oysters do not grow in our area, so it might be a little bit harder for me to have them like growing as a perennial. But the other one, the pearl oysters, I have them with a little experiment, and I will show you in a video in the future. So stay tuned for that. Just drink pure apple juice every day. It keeps them soft, so you can pass them on a daily basis. You should be fine. In fall, make as much apple juice to can as possible, and it's free. That's my goal. That's something I should do. I have a juicer here. The problem I have with it is I started pressing the apples last year, and I realized that you have like blocks of wood, like 2x3s, where you turn this thing and it presses down, and the 2x3s are supposed like to stack up. They stack up so that instead of having the disc pushing straight on the apples, you have the disc pushing on the 2x4s, and then it's giving more flexibility, I guess. But I realized that what they're giving me with the kit is not enough. So I'm going to have to go and buy some more 2x3s, 2x4s. Just 2x3 should be fine, just so I can put them in small blocks and stack them up and push the apples down. It would work well probably if I could do it properly. I would love to do the apple juice, the pure apple juice. I mean, I have the full kit. There's no reason not to. I had someone coming down the stairs. Hello, Antonio. My son was at his girlfriend and just came back. There's mushrooms growing my old neglected apple tree. Different looking ones. Do you know anything about them? Because I know morels just started coming out. Those are a delicacy, and they're growing around apple trees. You can just puree the apples. That's what I did last time in the fridge, and it will settle, and you can strain the juice from the pulp with cheesecloth. Another way to do it. But I actually did the apple sauce, like a puree, and I have some can. It's actually pretty good. You don't know anything about mushrooms. Okay. Is there any way that I can show you? The morels are kind of hard to see, though. Let me just show you a picture to show you what it would look like. But don't go and eat them without being 100% sure, obviously. But these are the morels. They would look something like this. So this is what they could look like. So if you see that on the ground, it could be hard to see, especially with all the dead leaves and the branches. It can be a little bit darker than that as well. Let me check. Let me check your comment. Oh. Weird. How come it's not? Just give me a sec. I'm coming. Okay, let me see the pictures. Okay, this one I don't know, but It's growing on that tree. Yeah. When you see, okay, you guys don't see it, but when you see mushrooms, um, there are so many things you need to look for. The cap, the spores, the way that the stem is made, if it has a skirt, if it doesn't, depending on what kind of tree it grows around or on, or if it's on the ground. Sometimes you have to cut them in half to see what's inside to be able to properly identify the mushrooms. These are growing out of the tree. Haven't yeah. I was looking at the pictures and it's unclear really. Sent photo again. Okay, let's see. I can't zoom in on my computer for some reason. But I'll okay, like yeah, I see it now, but it's too small to see. I'll look on my phone after. I will look on my phone after. Yeah, there's a lot of things to check when you go with mushrooms. I have to zoom in on the pic. It's one on the big dead trunk branch on the left. Yeah, I'll take a look after. But if it was morel, that would be awesome. But what I could see there, what I saw there, is not a morel. Definitely not the same. Come on now. But did you end up using all your root balls to hair graft all the apple trees you wanted to? Did you do any of those at all? I'm sure I have a lot of mushrooms. I saw some last year and it was growing out of an old bear poop pile. This one's might not be as good, but you never know. It always depends. I just need to go for a sec. Give me like 2 minutes. I'm back. Sorry about that. Whew. I never had any of the balls. I just used. Okay, so same question goes. Did you do a lot of them? Right now, I'll try to remember what I've done with those root balls. I did 2 on my gooseberries because I had some that were like huge. They're like a meter, 3-4 feet tall, really. And it seemed to be doing very well, even with the root balls on it. They're still alive. I'm guessing that the energy is still going through the branch, the stem. In my opinion, it should be working. those were the first ones I did early, well, mid-April, I'm guessing. I would have to check to make sure about the dates, but I did those two. And then I went on Sarah's property. I did, I think it was two apple trees, two different ones. Not sure what kind of apples they are, because sales just told me like all the apples are good. Just go there and hair graft whatever you need. I'm gonna try to keep an eye open this fall to see exactly what trees are the best, and I'll go and hair graft them next year. I went, did this. I just have to make sure I remember everywhere I went. Behind the community center, I did like 4 branches, like small and big ones and medium ones. The apples are like the size of a softball. They're big, they're juicy, they're very, very, very good. And continuing on the same drive behind the whole school, there's a few hidden apple trees back there. Some white ones and yellow ones. Although at this time of year, it's hard to see which ones are which. They don't have apples. But I'm pretty sure I got the right one. And if I did, I would have 2 different branches done on that one white apple tree. And I did 2 or 3 on another apple tree back there. So that's 2, 6, 7, 8, at least 10. I went on my dad's property and did another 2 or 3, so that would be at least 12. I went in little wood street that crosses over from my village to Dundee here. I have a video coming out about vultures. There were 3 vultures together, which is pretty cool. Those are big, huge birds. And I did 2 branches on that one apple tree, so that would give me 14 apple trees, air grafted. And those are yellow white apples. And then I did on my uncle's land, my cousin showed me one apple tree that apparently has golden delicious. So I hair grafted 4 on that tree. So that would give me 18. Now there's still one more apple tree that I want to hair graft. Plus, my girlfriend's cousin told me about a few apple trees that I really must have at home, apparently. Hello, OJ. Thank you so much for stopping by. So yeah, if everything works, I should have about 18 new apple trees in the fall. And I'm not going to say that it was free because I had to purchase those root balls, but they were only $20 for a pack. Oh no. $20 for about 20 apple trees. That would be awesome. You have snow coming down. Oh man, I'm so sorry. I would cry if that happened right now. I'm actually thinking about starting planting on my garden tomorrow. Hello, Darren. Yes, it would be awesome if it works. And if it does, I will put some aside. Maybe, well, I will know by mid-July if it works or not. And if it does, I will make sure that by the end of August, I go and do some more so that I have full roots on them by the end of October. And if it works, I will bring some for the conference next year. Neighbor's trees is full of blossoms. Mines are not out yet. We've been having nice weather for maybe a month now. We didn't have a really, really harsh winter. the snow melted pretty fast. I mean, I had a few spots of snow before I left the conference, and when I came back, it was all melted. So early May, it was all gone. But we didn't have any snow since then. Like, it was always warm enough not to have snow. But my trees are not, they're not blossoming yet. I can see that the flowers are just starting to come out. They're not even like, they didn't start to open yet. They're just starting to grow. I'm not saying no. If I do that, I want to be able to help some people. So if I sell them, I mean, it's not going to be expensive. I'm not doing it. Well, of course, it'd be nice to make money, especially these days. But like I've said in my last live stream, a tree at Walmart sells for like $90 now, $80, $90. I'm not going to go and sell apple trees. If it works, I'm not going to sell them for like $50, right? I will go like maybe $10. And that's if I'm sure they're working well. Something else I want to do, of course, I would make money and help someone in need at the same time. I will probably give a few ones away. You're lucky if yours are already loaded with blossoms, because mine's, like I said, they're not there yet. Most of ours are in blossom, a few young ones that aren't. So you should be good with the bees pollinating the apple trees. Did you have more coming, like blossoming since the last time we spoke, Darren? If it could work, I mean, Jennifer, you've seen as many videos as I have. My girlfriend's cousin swears by that technique, and if it works, I mean, this will be a new, like, what's the word, revolutionize? Like, it will really change the way that we homestead. Imagine being able to propagate all the trees you have on your property, all the shrubs, all the bushes, all the plants you want. I've done it with red currant, where it's even easier to grow, to propagate, because basically you just put the branch in the soil and it works. I mean, I've done it, and I have one red currant and one elderberry coming up. Imagine if we can do that with pear trees, plum trees. Plum trees are pretty easy too, I guess. Apparently, you just put the branch in the soil and they grow as well. So do grapes, but I'm struggling with grapes for some reason. But if we could do that with every single tree, shrubs, or bush that we have, if we could propagate honeyberries, well, raspberries, I can already do it. Strawberries is easy to do. But honeyberries, red and white currants, grapes, apple trees, plum trees, pear trees, cherry trees, gooseberries. It would be insane. Not only would we start making a little bit of money for the homestead, but we would be able to have some for ourselves and have some for friends and family. I mean, the whole reason I do the YouTube was to inspire people to save money on food. So I'm not going to go out there and start selling my product at ridiculous cost. If I do it, it will be just to cover the cost of what I do and, make a tiny, small profit. But you plant an apple tree, it's growing on its own. You don't need to do anything other than, if the roots take, they take, and that's it. Lots more blossoms now. Seen lots of bumblebees. Oh, nice. Let's hope so. Yeah, I've seen a few bumblebees as well yesterday. But I haven't seen any actual honeybees yet. Usually we have a lot on a property, especially especially since we don't really mow the lawn between us and the neighbors because, the property would be too big to mow the lawn. So we just let everything grow, and it's full of flowers, and it's usually full of honeybees. Eventually, my goal is to plant my orchard there, so it might happen where I have to mow the lawn down there, but not yet. I hair graft whole branches that are the size of a small tree, almost free, and don't have to wait a year like a regular graft of a small branch. Let's just hope it works. I'm pretty sure it does. I've seen videos. I've seen people do it. I have family members doing it. They swear by it. Now it's just a matter of knowing if I was able to do it properly. The first ones I did, I cut the bark probably too low. And what that does is, instead of having the roots, like let's say this is my ball, okay? I did the root, like the cutting, like here. So if the roots grow, they'll grow downwards. So I will have all this in soil, this part here in soil, and the roots are going to grow here. But the last ones I did, I cut the bark like on top here. I'm trying to here. So the roots will grow downwards in the soil. So the part of the branch that's here is not going to bother as much. It's not going to matter. So Marilan, little homestead by the beach, made it home, safe and sound. That's awesome. And I also forgot to bring my rooting hormones on some of the little adventures I had. So I'm hoping that without the hormones, it still works. Did you put rooting hormones on yours, Jennifer? Another one that does pretty well with simple cuttings is elderberries. Chris and Steph at Hickory Croft Farm did a few of those. They gave me one. All you do is you take a cutting and put it in the soil. So the best time to do it would be as soon as the snow melts. If the tree are still dormant, you just cut a branch, plant it in the soil, and eventually roots will grow and the tree will take off. And I have like 4 or 5 elderberries, and apparently you can do that with the service berries as well. I'm gonna have to see if it's really working. I actually planted a few service berries, and I was even able to find some around here. That's crazy. So we are definitely 3 weeks behind the Ontario temperatures, because when I was in Ontario, I could see the service berries, or some people call them Saskatoon berries. I could see the white flowers on those trees everywhere. And when I got here, I was, okay, I need to find those trees because apparently they grow everywhere. I'm guessing they don't grow a lot of fruits, though. Someone told me that they're just hard to see, but this week I've seen about 40, 50 different serviceberry trees from here to work. Like, when I mean 50 different ones, I mean 50 different ones. There's even 3 huge trees in the hospital parking lot that are service berries that I didn't even know about. It's funny when you start learning about that stuff. You get to know those but now that I know what they are, they're everywhere. First year I forgot and didn't get any roots to grow. This year I made sure I used the roots to do the roots will grow. You can use honey if you don't have the rooting powder. I have the rooting powder, but now you're making me wonder if I should go back and I read that you don't necessarily need them, but it's just better to have it. But it always depends how long you keep it. So if I go there and I open my pod and there's no roots, it might be too late to put the rooting hormones. But I will try anyway and just put a new pod on, or same pod on with the new zip ties, I guess. But yeah, the service berries, you can just cut the branch like elderberries and just put it straight in the ground. Apparently, you can do that with grapes and currants, gooseberries too, I guess. But I've done it once and it didn't work, so it still, needs to be proven. But the red currant, I planted one broken branch last year, and I figured instead of just leaving the branch on the ground or just walking to the fire to put it in the fire, I just took the branch and planted it in the soil, and it ended up growing leaves this year. So it means that it's actually rooting. Let's see, oysters and what? Okay, so I am, like I said, I'm growing golden oysters, and I asked a question on some of the Facebook groups on how to cook them when they're ready, and apparently you can do them in bacon and dehydrate them. That would be great. It sounds delicious just to think about it. I mean, anything wrapped in bacon and done in jerky is actually pretty good. There's an apple tree in my yard from hair grafting last year. I forgot the powder, and it's still there wrapped. I'll go out tomorrow and cut the soil back off and see if there's any roots. So that was done last year. There was no roots last year, but you left it longer. That's what you mean. It could also depend on what kind of soil you have, I guess. But even if you have the rooting hormones, I find it hard to put it on the branch, because even if you put some on your fingers and you sprinkle over the branch, if it's a little bit windy, I mean, it doesn't stick to the branch. So the last couple of trees I did, I put it on the branch, the pods like this, open them back up, and I would have like the line of the tree in the pod. So I would just sprinkle rooting hormones on there on both pods and just put them, So hopefully it works. And I mean, if it does, it's going to be a game changer for a lot of people. Selge has a lot of big plans for his land. I have some big plans for my small land. I opened the one next to it last year. I used pro-mix soil, sprayed the branch with water, then had the rooting soil on it so it sticks. Yeah, so if I do that, I'm going to have to bring another arm with me, because you bring the pods, the powder, the zip ties. I need to bring my knife. I also need to bring the duct tape. So, yeah, I would need to have some help. Yeah. I understood what you meant, though. Seems like you're the only one in the chat tonight, Jennifer. Thank you so much for being here. It's hard doing it yourself. Possible, though, because I do it, but so much better and easier to help. Hello, Angie. Thank you so much for stopping by. I was just telling Jennifer how I feel lonely. She must feel lonely because she's the only one in the chat right now. It's a U.S. holiday today? What day? Oh, is it? What day would it be? Yeah, I'm still in February on that calendar. All right. Memorial Weekend? Okay. Oh, that's awesome, Darren. Thank you so much. Yeah, I do that too sometimes. um, yeah, so how's it going? Yeah, Angie, I'm not all here, but I'm here. Yeah, so I'm guessing it's still not 100%. And I think this is the first time I actually have beer since the conference. And it wasn't really by choice. It wasn't really because I was tough, but still first time. I came back. I was just a little bit broke. And I was on antibiotics for a little while, for about a week. I guess it's a good thing because, if I don't drink as much, it's all good, right? Morphine kicked in, so you must be sleepy. And if you watched the beginning of my live stream, well, not the beginning, because for the first 3 minutes I was talking with no sound. The mic was on mute until Jennifer told me. But just be careful. I know it's a prescription, and it's a prescription, and you know the danger about it, and I know you know. But just be careful. I actually had a talk about that early on my live stream, about how easy it can be to be in trouble when you take strong medicine like this. Sorry. So, plans for tomorrow morning. I'm supposed to go sell my bottles. Depending on how much money I get, might be able to go to the nursery and get my male sea buckthorn shrub. And I have some seeds here. And what I want to do with those seeds is go to the local nursery, the one that's closer to me, and give them a few seeds, because I know they will be able to grow them. And I mean, I have like about 50 seeds, so I can probably share about a dozen with them, no problem. And if they can grow it, well, they gave me some rutabaga last year that was already started. I should actually do the same thing now. I should plant some right now to have some for my garden when I go. But if she has some growing, I can just buy some from her. But I gave her a few seeds. She ends up growing them and helping a small local business. They're so nice whenever I go there. You have to pick up 2 more loads of seed or post tomorrow. Got a deal, 100 for $3 each. Nice. Too bad I don't live closer. Depending on how big you need. Not that I don't have 100, but I would have, maybe a dozen that I could give you. Sea buckthorn has started from seeds, are doing very well. Cool. And they all germinated, and all you did was use the paper towel method, right? I need to start doing that method. I need to start doing that with a few of my high bush cranberry seeds as well. I have a lot of them that are really, really, they're hard to follow. Like it's stratification for 90 days. This one is stratification for like 6 months, 90 days. I mean, it's really long. And if you can do it by the paper towel method, even better. Yeah, it is a great deal at $3 each. All the seeds that start germinated. That's awesome. Really, really, really is nice. That's awesome. Mm, 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 mm. Settings. Can I? Hmm. Paper towel, Ziploc bag. The room was cooled though. Cold. Didn't have Eden there, but they all germinated in a few short weeks. That's still pretty awesome. That's what I'm gonna do next year. I'm gonna try to remember that and let the lady know tomorrow if I can go and see her. So I received a small donation last live stream from a friend to help me with my sea buckthorn berry shrub because I bought a female in Quebec when I was at Darren's place. Well, the weekend of the conference, but they didn't have any males. I wanted to find a male, but they're hard to find. The local nursery here only had 2 shrubs. They didn't really know much about them because it's kind of fairly new around here. And they only had 2 females. And I told them, if you can't sell them, I'm probably going to go and buy them, but just keep in mind, if you sell them to a customer, to let them know that they'll need to find a male at some point. And they said they were going to try to get a few males next year. But I found another nursery about 30 minutes from here that's huge. Not as big as Floralie Jouvence in Quebec, but still pretty big. I think they have like 12 high tunnels, and they all have their like specific purpose. They have one that's full of cucumbers and tomatoes. They have one that's full of herbs and strawberries. They have one that's full of perennial flowers. Another one is full of annual flowers. Another one is full of, specific kind of herbs or things like that, plus whatever they have outside. It's amazing. It's an awesome place. And I just found out about that place last year. It's a kind of good thing, though. Starting out and get them growing. I could do that too. I would need to go and buy a paper towel. We don't really use it, but it would be a good idea to have some here. I need to talk to Kevin, my girlfriend's cousin. He has a huge farm, a bunch of fruit trees. He doesn't want to be on YouTube, so I don't think I can go there and film anything. He probably won't let me, which is, I respect that. I'll try to take some pictures, but I want to go there. Last week he was busy with the fiddleheads, and I ended up with about 40 pounds of fiddleheads. I was able to blanch them. I did about half of them the first night, and the other half the next morning. It went quite fast. I knew I didn't have time to do them all the same day. I got them Saturday night around 6 p.m. 40 pounds, you can only do about 2 pounds at a time, and it takes about 15 minutes per batch. And that's only because I don't have a big pot. But if you have a bigger pot, it can go faster. But it takes time to boil the water. You have to blanch them. You need to have the water boiling. You have the fiddleheads. You let them boil for about 3 minutes. You take it out in cold, icy water. I don't have ice. I just use cold water, and it's usually fine. And then I take them out of the cold water, put them on a towel on the table with the fan on. I let them dry a little bit. Well, they usually dry for about 30 minutes because, I'll put a batch there, batch here, and a batch there. And then I'll be able to take that batch and vacuum seal it and put the next batch there, vacuum seal that batch, and put the next batch there, and so on. So I have a rotation going like this. And it kind of went pretty well. I started around 7:30, 8 a.m. on Sunday morning, and I think around 10 I was done. So it might sound like a lot of work, but what's work? What's a lot of work is usually the best things, right? I mean, Darren would know about hard work. He does his own Highland cows. He does his own, like he butchers his own pigs, his own chickens. You know how long it can take, but it's all worth it in the end. You have that amazing food in your freezer. Same thing if you butcher your own moose. You know, it can take a few hours, especially if you don't have the right equipment, but it's all worth it in the end. You save money. It takes time, but you save money. And if I just go back to those fruit trees for a sec, I'm thinking about doing those seminars. I'm wondering how that would go. I don't know. Being in a bilingual community, I know that I need to do some in French and some in English. I know that I have the knowledge to teach a lot, but I just don't know if I have time to properly make like a nice class that would take, a full day or like 2 hours a break and 2 hours or something like that. I want to talk about permaculture food forests. I want to talk about foraging. I want to talk about ways to save money. That's my strength. That's what I know. I mean, I've been foraging, farming, gardening, fishing, hunting, preserving. I'm trying to buy in bulk a little bit more now, but it's not always possible. But whenever I do, I can preserve the food. I mean, it's stuff I can teach. So I'm just wondering if I do those sessions and I have, and I have a few fruit trees to give away to those people that came into my class, then I wouldn't feel as though the $20 for registration would be too much. I would feel like, okay, you came to my session, it cost you $20. I taught you what I knew, what I know, and you're going home with an apple tree. How can that go wrong for you and as a customer or as a client or as a student? You know what I mean? So that's where I'm trying to put my thoughts right now in terms of, okay, I might be able to do those sessions, not charge too much. I just want to make people conscient that there are ways to save money on food. There are ways to eat better. There are ways to have a nice food forest on your property. There are different things you can do. And, the one thing that someone said to me that I keep saying as well, if you don't plant something next to your apple tree, something else is going to grow there on its own, and it's not going to be something you like. So put something you want to grow right there. Small plant, small shrub. You can plant an apple tree, have some red currants all around it, and just leave a little walking path. And then around those little red currant shrubs, you can plant strawberries, you can plant herbs, you can plant, lemon balm, oregano, rosemary, chives, anything like that would stop the weeds from growing. It's all going to be food. It's even if it overtakes the lawn. I mean, I have some chives growing in front of my property, in front of my house. Who cares? It's chives. I'm going to use a tractor, mow the lawn, simply because that's where the dog goes to do his little pee-pee and little poop. I don't think you can make it like to the first few ones closer to the roads, but that's where the kids play. So the kids might be stepping on them and whatever. I can still, I could clean them up and dehydrate them. They would still be fine. But if I didn't have a dog, nothing would stop me from eating those chives. And they can take over all my lawn if they want. If I want to mow the lawn, I'll mow the lawn. If I want to eat it, I'll eat it. Right? Takes longer when you stab yourself in the legs. That's right. That's why you can't stab yourself in the legs. At least you only did the one leg. You could have been like, do two legs at the same time. I've never had a serious injury like this, although I was trying to cut a metal bar at some point with my metal saw. And I went straight and boom, it cut the top of my finger. I don't even remember which finger it is now. But all I remember is I had a scar for small scar for a few years. I think it's on my middle finger. And I went upstairs. I'm like, babe, can you give me a plaster and something to stop the blood? And she almost fainted. I'm like, it's okay. I can see the bone. The bone's not, I didn't touch the bone. Just give me something to stop the blood. You can't beat that price. Make it $35 and give handouts with info and writing they can take home. Yeah, that's also something else I want to keep in mind. But especially when I start, because I don't know how well that will go, I don't want to start with something too expensive. I mean, I know I've taken some foraging class that was about $70 for one session, and the session was about 3 hours. And I did the same session twice because I really enjoyed and I really wanted to be sure about what I was learning, But I feel like this information is out there on YouTube already, and I don't want to steal from them. I don't want to feel like I'm stealing people's money because I'm actually there to help them save money on food. So to me, $20 is a good price. You give me $20 and I will show you how to grow food or how to save money on food. I will show you step by step, what to do, different tricks and tips. I mean, people that are homesteading probably already know that stuff, but some people don't even know what homesteading is. They just want to save money on food, and they don't even know that dandelion is edible, that chicory is edible. Rose hips are actually very good. There's at $20, if you just have 5 people interested, that's $100. The only thing is, I will have help for the marketing. There's I don't know if you saw, Jennifer, in Dalhousie, they have the hub. They call it the hub or the Heron hub, or let me just check quickly. What's it called? Hub de la Baie. Hub and Bay. Well, Bay Hub, however you put the words. I saw my bare bone today too. Super cool. It is, right? Yeah, YouTube analytics don't know what homesteading is. I was actually talking to Annie about that earlier today or yesterday. And I feel like when COVID hit, a lot of people were stuck home and they went on YouTube. They tried to learn how to get away from people, and they just wanted to grow their own food. The insecurity, the fact that nobody was really sure what was going on. the fact that some people couldn't work, it was hard financially. People wanted to grow food. But I feel like those people are back to work and they don't care as much about growing food anymore. But with the way that the cost of everything is going up, the inflation, one way to fight the inflation is to grow your own food. I mean, yes, gas is still very expensive. I'm struggling on that side a lot. Insurance went up, mortgage went up, the electricity went up, everything is going up. But in 2019, we were at about $800 bi-weekly of grocery. When I talk to my girlfriend now, we go and do the grocery, and I ask her what her budget is. She tells, well, my budget is $500 now. Yeah, everything else is more expensive. But I have to say, at $800 bi-weekly, we still had to go to my mom's to get some stuff in the freezer sometimes to eat. Mom, can I go steal some food from your freezer because we don't have anything for supper tonight? And she'll be like, of course, come and grab a few meals, right? That's what moms do. Now, we're not worried about food. Not worried about food at all because I grow a lot. I hunt, I fish, I forage, I preserve, I garden, I farm. I didn't buy any meat other than a few fish because last year it's been raining all summer. We couldn't go fish. And a few times, Alexa will have a party with her friends and she wants to do nachos. Yeah, she doesn't want to take like the Moose burger or anything like that to put in her nachos. So she wants to go and buy like the beef burger, which is fine. But other than that, I mean, we don't buy meat. And Darren, you know how that feels. You've done that yourself. I mean, I have pork, deer, moose in my freezer. All legal. It's all legal. 2 years ago, I had fish. More than I do this year. Hopefully the summer will be better and I'll be able to go fish some more. I don't buy carrots anymore. I mean, I have carrots for like at least once or twice a year. I have fiddleheads at least once a year. A week. I meant once a week. Once or twice a week for carrots and once a week for fiddleheads. I have some beets. I didn't grow as much as I wish. I might have like 10 meals of beets. I have some beans, probably enough for like 2 years. It adds up. It really adds up. I have some dehydrated mushrooms. I have my own chickens, so I have my own eggs. I did 40 meat chickens last year. I'm doing 50 this year. I'm probably going to lose a few ones. I always do. But, I should have at least 45 meat chickens in my freezer at the end of the year. And then press water on them. Oh, cool. Okay. I never get out, only to Bathurst once a month or so to get some groceries. Okay. Too bad you can't make it to Dalhousie. Well, if there's ever anything going on, I'll let you know. And I know you're kind of a little bit out of my way to get there, but, there might be, depending on what time and whatever, it might be something that's doable. $100 is like small shopping bag of non-expensive things. Yeah, half grocery cart is like $700. Depends what you get, but it is getting ridiculous. It's brutal just adding a few good cheeses to the shopping basket. Yeah, and someone made me try some cheese about 3 weeks ago, and I kind of enjoyed it. So now I'm gonna have to find some and buy some. Um, I wonder who that might be. Yeah, I couldn't imagine if I had to buy my meat. Same thing for me. I mean, I was lucky last year. We had a moose tag, and nobody wanted to have the moose other than me. My uncle and my dad didn't want to have any, so I had 1/3. My dad figured he was going to take 1/3 and split it with my brother, and everything was done legally. Once again, just to be clear, my buddy Jack from Ren's Homestead, he had an awesome deal. He just paid for the butcher to have the meat license and a third of a moose that was 657 pounds of meat. And the deal that we have with Jack is they find us a place to hunt deer, and if we get moose, they get moose. So if one between my brother, my dad, my mom, and I gets a moose tag, Jack comes with us for the moose hunt. We ended up having, I had to split up a deer with my brother, and then my cousin has those nuisance tags, and he transferred me some meat as well. So I ended up with pretty much a full deer of meat, and a pork, and a few turkeys, and a lot of chickens. We've only lost one out of our 50 meat birds, chickens, so far. So not too bad. Last year, I lost one, and I'm trying to remember. I think it was during those heat waves, and they had water and everything. They're in the shades, but it's really, really, really warm and dry. It's humid, but for them, it's kind of dry. Unfortunately, this year we might have to buy a cow for meat. If Freya had given birth to the other years, we would have been good. You know what? It sucks that it's really expensive for non-resident, because you could apply for a moose tag in New-Brunswick, and then I could go with you because I'm actually a licensed guide. I could go with you, but I think that the license and the application is way too expensive. It doesn't make sense. I mean, only people with huge businesses come for moose hunting as non-resident. Fully fenced and get meat birds in time. Already in 4 months. I'll do even better. I'll go with my plucker. I'll go at your place, and we'll do them together, and I'll show you what to do. So in the future, you know what to do. The ones I get are good in 2 months. They take 8 weeks. Now, I'm usually butchering them at 8 weeks, and I buy them at 3 weeks old. So I pay about $4 per chicken, which was about $200. And they're coming in next Saturday, not tomorrow, but the following one. Tomorrow, that's something else I have to do tomorrow. I have to go clean the chicken coop from last year, put some wood shavings, and get everything ready. I'm gonna have to go buy some turkey feed, growing chick feeds as well. I get them, like I said, $4 at 3 weeks old. Last year, 40 chickens. I ended up with 39, but I still paid for 40. I lost one. So that's $160. The feed bags are $25. I used 8. Sorry. I used 8. So that's $200. So that was a total of $360 for 39 meat chickens. And if you do the math, okay, I purchased some shrink wrap bags at $30. So that's a total of $390 divided by 39 chickens. That's $10 a chicken. But you know what? Instead of being full of crap, like the ones you get at the store, instead of being those small 2.5 pound birds that you get at the grocery store, they were organic, fed by me. I knew what they were getting. I knew they had a good life. And they were all between 5 and 8 pounds meat birds. For $10. That's all it cost me, $10 per bird. That's a pretty good price when you think about it. Go to the grocery store now. $10, you won't get much. And they're not even good. I get sick whenever I eat chicken from the grocery store. So whoever says it's not worth it, they're full of poop. Because it is worth it. I'm trying to find someone who raises cows in a good and loving way so I can buy half cow for the canner and freezer and no chemicals or anything. I hate having to buy it from the store. It's soaked in bleach. I don't know what they do to it. All I know is whatever they feed the animals, it's not the same as what we give them. I wonder. I know of a few local farms that sell meat, but I don't know if they sell like half a cow. You might have to look around, but I know there's someone in the Moncton area that does it. That's weird. So the message you see there is not showing up on YouTube in the chat. Well, it's showing up now that I put live chat, but top chat, apparently that comment is not a top chat material. I want to find a way for mine to feed mine naturally or make my own feed grain free. I know it can be done. I just have to figure out how. I plan on cooking beans and stuff to give them and garden stuff. Justin Rhodes has a video, and that's how I actually found him in the first place. When he did the Great America Farm Tour or something like that, there was this guy feeding 600 chickens for free out of those big compost piles. And they were all free ranging, and he would find 300 eggs per day from those chickens. So, like he said, they're healthy because they're laying. If they weren't laying, they wouldn't be healthy. So they were healthy. And he was doing that only with compost piles. Chickens are foragers. They'll forage. If you put them on grass, they will cut you a lot less feed. Joel Salatin is another very, very good one. He has a lot of amazing information. The only thing with Joel is you have to buy the books, and it's a little bit more expensive. Was it Chris and Steph did a video on the how to feed the chickens, or did they do that for rabbits? I think they did that for the chickens as well. But I know Justin Rhodes has a video on that. And I'm pretty sure Hickory Croft Farm has one too. Moncton is so far. I'm hoping to find someone close that I can buy a bunch of beef from that's natural. Keep an eye out. I know there's a Levac farm in McKendrick, which would still be about an hour from your place. I just don't know if they sell the meat or not. There was a friend of mine that started doing that too, that was living like 2 houses down from here. It was a little bit more expensive, but it was quality meat. And her and him are no longer together, so I don't think they're doing it anymore. Yeah, that's what I figured. They're doing. I knew they had a video on the rabbits. But, I mean, I'm not saying anything about Steph. She's smart. She's great. But I think Chris is like a genius in that kind of stuff, where he does all those experiments, and he really knows his stuff. Well, Steph knows her stuff too. I'm not saying she doesn't, but Chris is the kind of guy that will go and do a bunch of experiments all the time, and he'll figure something out. He'll change a few things, tweak a few things, and then he'll be good to go on his own for whatever time he needs to go on his own. That video he did on potato slips, sweet potato slips, aquaponic, that was insane. If you haven't seen that video, Jennifer, if that's something that you're interested in, Hickory Croft Farm. It should still be under Hickory Croft Farm. He made a video of sweet potato slips in an aquarium full of fish. And, I had same thing here. Within 2 months, it was just like a couple of roots, right? Which was still enough, but it was just a couple of roots. He did that with the aquarium and the fish. You couldn't even see the fish after 2 months because the roots were taking over all the aquarium. That was crazy. It worked so well. The fish pooped, gave some nutrients to the plants, and the plants were giving nutrients to the fish, and so on. It was crazy. There was a retired dairy farmer here I got it from, but processed his last cow last summer. There's a different one that sells pork. They have beef, but not enough to sell, and they don't eat pork. I know there's a McCurdy farm that used to do some small boxes. I just don't think he does like the huge boxes like that. I know about Pelletier, the butcher, 2 houses from here. JJ Pelletier. Although I don't know where he's getting the beef from or the meat from, but you can usually call him and get a pretty decent price on half a beef or half a pork. I think, like, the first time I did it, half a pork was it $2.19 or $2.29 a pound? And he told me it was organic, and it was actually very, very good. $2.29 a pound is a little bit more than what I'm paying now. Last year, I purchased, we purchased 2 pigs, my brother, my friend, and I. So we split 2 pigs in 3. We ended up with about 240 pounds of meat each for about $400, which was lower than $2 a pound. And it was amazing. And I know the guy personally. I know it was organic. And it was awesome. We started trying to butcher it ourselves, only to find out that we were not equipped. We didn't have a cold room like Darren has. We were not that lucky. So we didn't have time to cut everything. We ended up bringing the meat to a butcher. But not before we were able to cut the bellies and a few pieces. So I ended up making a lot of grinded meat. And I made my own bacon. And I'm still eating bacon now. It's pretty good. I love it. Even if it's not a large amount, if it's natural beef and the cows were well cared for and loved, and not expensive. It's fine. Yeah, having all that in the same deal is pretty hard because most people that care for the animals and it's all natural and all that stuff, it will end up being expensive because it's more expensive to raise. But I get what you mean. Like last year, the deal we had on the pigs was just like awesome. It was amazing. And I'm hoping we can do the same thing this year. Even raising my own pigs myself was more expensive than what it cost me. I think when I did the math, the exact amount of meat I have for the cost, it came down to $1.75 a pound. And people are like, "Oh well, sometimes when it's on sale, you can get it for like $1.49." Yeah, but you'll get a pork chop for that price. The pork chop is not the best part of the pig. I pay $1.75 for the whole pig. It means I have the pork chops, I have pork steaks, I have the burger, grinded meat, I have the bacon, I have some roast, and I even ended up with the lard that we just started using recently. I mean, you can't get that for $1.75 at the grocery store. None of that. Bacon is like $10 a pound now. I was afraid about my incubator because it took a good week for the incubator to settle down. I don't know if it's the sensor or the thermostat or whatever it is. It was showing as though it was only 31 degrees in there and it needs to be 37.5. Now it's settled down. And I'm hoping that the birds are still alive. Tomorrow will be time for me to remove the turner, the egg turner. So if it worked, in about 5 days, I should have some little Chanticleer chicks, the ones that Patrick Cost gave me. Keep the pig skin as well if you can. It makes awesome dog treats after you dry it. I've seen some people keep the skin, but they would use something to scratch the skin off, the hair off. But I don't have anything to remove the hair. I know I've seen some people burn the hair as well. I guess I could always put that on top of a fire, but it's kind of a lot of trouble. So yeah, I guess in the ideal world, in an ideal world, you would keep every single part of the animal. But the fact that I work full time, we got the pig, I think it was on a Sunday. I had to go to work the next day. Okay, so you burn the hair. That's what you do. You just take a torch. We could use a torch as well, I guess. That's another way to do it, I guess. But how do you do it, Darren? Do you take some time off to do the cows and the pigs, or you just enjoy the fact that you have a beautiful cold room and you can you can actually put everything in the cold room, butcher, like kill them, skin them, put them in the cold room, and then the next weekend you butcher them. Even if they stay in a cold room for 2 weeks, it's not bad. It's not a bad thing. So you just do it on the weekends, but you have a full weekend to do it. That's what you do, right? If I remember correctly. Garden weed torch. I need to find one of those. Ugh. I'm burping a lot. I don't know why. Well, I kind of know why, but I'm just curious for a sec. I just want to see the scores. I don't want them to. Oh, stupid RDS. So tomorrow I'm gonna go sell my bottles and cans, and I will take the money and go buy my male sea buckthorn. Depending on how much money I get, I might buy some tomatoes as well. I might get some cucumbers. Although cucumbers usually grow pretty well. When you plant them, they don't take a long time to grow. I need to finish fixing my greenhouse. I need to bring the other temple shelter here once and for all. Get that done. Start working on it. Start working on the frame at least. I could probably just use some pallets and make frame out of pallets. I think the temple shelter is actually a little bit more straight up, as the greenhouse is more like on an angle like this. It goes like an angle and then it goes like this. The temple shelter is like more straight up and then it goes in an angle. Might be easier to make it stronger. We can harvest and dress 2 pigs in a day, and the same for a cow. We then just hang the parts in the cold room and take our time butchering. Yeah, the harvesting and dressing part is the easy part for me anyway. I mean, I can skin a moose in 30-40 minutes. I can do a pig in 45 minutes, you know. But it's the butchering part, the cutting down pieces part that's really, really long. Especially if you don't know what you're doing. That's the hardest part. Usually the 2 pigs are a week in the evening to butchers. Are weeks in the evenings. I freeze the bellies and hams, process them later. Okay. I've never done the actual am. I'm curious to see. Do you have a video on that, Darren, that you could share? Or at some point we'll just have the talk, guess, about how you do it. That's fine too. Your bacon is amazing. The one I did last time was a lot better than the previous times. I added some maple syrup to the first one, but I don't think that's the reason why the second one was better. I didn't add maple syrup the second time. I just think it's because I had more experience and I knew what I was doing. So tomorrow, selling the bottles, buying the sea buckthorn berry shrub. I have to fix the greenhouse. I have to start my garden, and it has to be done tomorrow. We're expecting rain on Sunday. I still have a few videos to edit. Oh, something I forgot. I'm going to take a few seconds to talk about this. I don't know, Darren, if you've seen it. I know, well, I think you commented on my comment. So I'm doing this challenge, and anyone is free to join. And I will do a small video explaining what I expect from people doing the challenge. The challenge is simply to post something on YouTube every day for a month, for 30 days. So you use the hashtag 30 post challenge, like I just put in the chat. And all you have to do is post something on YouTube every day for 30 days. You can start and do that only in June. You can plan ahead and start that mid-June. You can start now. It doesn't have to be videos. It doesn't have to be live streams. You can do videos. You can do live streams. You can do pictures. You can do shorts. I have everything set up for a month already, and it took me an hour to make. The only thing that's not set up is my weekly video. They're all filmed. I just have to do the editing and publish them on YouTube. And I schedule them so that they come out whenever I want them to come out. And I still have a lot of ideas on what to film. So I'm still good for a little while. I want to get more. It's just a way to get people more involved on YouTube. I don't know if the pictures really help, but I know the shorts and the videos and the live streams do. So the pictures is kind of an easy way out. If you don't have time to produce a video, you take a picture, you put it on YouTube. At least it's showing YouTube that you're still active. It's showing your fans, your subscribers, that you're still there, showing them some stuff. I will have some stuff that will be members only in my 30-day challenge, but I will have something for all the people at least every day. You know, some days I might have two different things, a picture and a short. Maybe the short will be shown to everyone. The picture will be shown to members only, but, you know, it's a small challenge for fun. This is the hashtag. I think there are a couple of videos I did on how to do bacon. Awesome. I'm going to have to check that out again. I think I've seen it already. I think that's pretty much what I'm trying to do, but I'll double check to make sure. I don't think I did one on the ham yet. Okay, that'd be nice. Ham is it's actually pretty good when especially if you can do it properly. All right, so I've been on for an hour 45 minutes. If I add the little introduction, almost 2 hours. I have a long day tomorrow. I have to get up early, go sell my bottles, my cans. And I'm probably going to be working outside. If it's nice out, I'll be working until, I don't know, 9 p.m. tomorrow night. So it's going to be a long day. I'm going to go to bed, let you guys go, and thank you for stopping by. Take care, and I will see you probably Sunday morning. I have a schedule already.
We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild.